Hello, my name is Bruce Stening. I'm the Vlerick International Dean to the BiMBA program at Peking University. I want to talk to you today about some of the special features that make BiMBA a world-class business school. There are several things that I want to mention to you. The first, of course, is the quality of the students. The quality of the students as they come into the program and the quality of the students once they graduate and go out into employment. The second is the curriculum which they study during their period with BiMBA. And the third, and the one that I especially want to talk to you about today, is the quality of the faculty who actually teach the courses that the students undertake while they're here. The teaching faculty at BiMBA are differentiated by several characteristics. The first is that they are drawn from business schools around the world, in the United States, in Europe, in China and elsewhere. The faculty are chosen for several particular features. In the first place, they must have very good qualifications, and all of our faculty hold PhDs from leading universities around the world. The second is that they must be excellent teachers. We put great emphasis on having professors in the program who are absolutely world-class in terms of their teaching excellence. The third, of course, is that they must have both academic and practical experience. They must be experts in their field, but they must also be able to apply what they know to different fields. So these are people who are typically people who consult to companies and who have themselves held positions in organizations outside of universities. They are also differentiated, I think, by their enthusiasm. We choose professors to teach into the program who are able to engage our students in a learning process. In some programs, professors teach. In our program, professors engage students in a process of learning. And I think that that's a very important differentiating feature. Our students invariably find the professors very engaging, entertaining, amusing, and people from whom they can learn enthusiastically. And I think that that differentiates us enormously from many other business schools around the world. And if people are not good teachers, we won't hire them. That is our primary criterion for choosing them. I'd like to give you a couple of examples of professors who teach the MBA at BiMBA and the means by which they teach their courses and what makes them so engaging as professors. The MBA starts with a course in statistics. It may seem to you that this is a rather curious course to begin an MBA with, since statistics sounds to most of us like a rather boring, dry subject. However, I can assure you that the course, as it is taught by Professor Sean Chen, is an outstanding example of how something which can be boring is made to be very engaging and very, very interesting by the professor. Sean did his PhD at Harvard, although he was born in China, and he returns each year to teach into the BiMBA program, specifically because he is an excellent teacher of this subject. This is a subject in which he uses many examples from different fields. He uses, for example, the FBI, he uses the NBA and Yao Ming to provide illustrations of how statistics can be applied to very practical fields. Another professor who I would like to mention is Professor David Venter, who comes from the Vlerick School to teach negotiations each year. This is a course which is obviously very practical and of great benefit to students once they leave the program. This course is taught by David in a most engaging way, getting them to apply principles of negotiations again to very practical situations. David worked in South Africa for a number of years and indeed was an advisor to Nelson Mandela when he was the president, and he applies what he has learned practically to business situations in a most engaging way for students. I'd also like to mention that there are professors here at BiMBA within the National School of Development who teach into the program as well. And a very good example of this is Professor Yao Yang. Professor Yao teaches China's economic development. He is an internationally recognized economist who comes into the class and provides very relevant material for students, not only Chinese but international students, that describes the context in which business is taking place. These sorts of courses, I think, are very important because they bring to bear all of the expertise that exists in this school on China for the benefit of students who will not only work in China but engage with the world in different ways. One subject that is of interest to all MBA students, I'm sure, is marketing. Marketing is taught in two parts in the BiMBA MBA. The first part is a generic course in marketing management. This course is taught by professors from international schools who bring to this course world-class expertise and world-class standards in terms of marketing management knowledge. The second course is taught by a local professor, Professor Zhang Li. Professor Zhang was born in China, did his PhD at a top American university and returned to the BiMBA program. His course, which focuses obviously specifically on marketing in China, complements very nicely the general marketing course, which is taught by the international professors. And I think students leave this program with a very good understanding not only of marketing as it applies anywhere, but marketing particularly as it applies to China. And that knowledge is of great relevance not only to multinational corporations, but also to Chinese enterprises who are seeking to go abroad. Students who complete their MBA at BiMBA have the option of doing a second degree, a Master's of Science in Global Finance in New York City. This course is taught by several professors, both from New York and from other universities, including BiMBA. I'd like to mention one of these people in particular, Professor Huang Yiping. Professor Huang did his PhD overseas, has held positions in a number of leading universities in the United States, in Australia, and in other places, but as well as this, has great practical experience as an economist. He was for many years the chief economist of Citibank Asia, based in Hong Kong, and has also been chief economist for Barclays in the same capacity. He brings to his courses not only tremendous academic insights and expertise, but also great practical insights from the world of global finance that mean that students are getting both rigorous education and very relevant education. And I think these sorts of professors add immensely to the quality of the BiMBA teaching programs. Courses at BiMBA are taught in a variety of ways by different professors. I'd like to talk to you a little bit about the way that I teach my courses. In particular, let me talk about my course in organizational behavior. This is a course which is getting people to think about how they can manage people in organizations. The way I teach this course is by putting people into teams of 5 or 6 people. People sit at separate tables and discuss a number of issues that relate to these matters. They bring together their own expertise with that which they get from the textbook, facilitated by me as a professor. So we engage directly in the solution of practical issues and problems that face managers and face organizations. And I find this to be a very effective means by which people can actually get to grips with the material, understand the issues, and come out with a much better understanding of how they can apply material to real situations. As a professor, I find this very engaging myself, to see the way in which students can actually immerse themselves in the material and develop very fine expertise in relation to a lot of matters. Matters about which they may already have considerable experience, but about which they can refine that knowledge and go out better managers at the end of the program.